South Africa.
Well, it's just gone 14 minutes past 4 p.m. and going across now to be joined by the president of SAHUC, the South African Hajj Umrah Council, Shane Essop, and they've issued a press release. They've issued communication on the 8th of April, looking ahead at where we are in this month of Ramadan and ahead of the Hajj season. We know that many people start preparing already in the month of Ramadan ahead of Hajj. Shane, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Trust and hope you're enjoying a blessed, a wonderful Ramadan, inshallah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to you, Naya, to everybody at Salam Media, and to all the viewers out there and the listeners out there. Ramadan Kareem to everybody. Yes, alhamdulillah, it certainly has been a great Ramadan up to now. Time obviously just flies by us, and we make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts from one and all.
I mean, yes, and obviously the month of Ramadan, for many people that are going for Hajj, they normally use this month to prepare themselves in more ways than one. And we know that there are many areas where Hajj classes are actually held in the month of Ramadan, preparing Hajj, but also at the same time, looking at it from Saud's perspective, it is a milestone for the Hajj, and particularly looking at the number of people, the quota, how many people have accepted, how many, is there still room for more people? And also at the same time, just general preparation and planning.
Certainly is, Inayat, and yes, as you quite indicate, a milestone indeed, because before you know it, the month of Shawwal will dawn upon us, and the first Hujjaj would then start departing around about the 1st of Zilqaidah. That's the date upon which the kingdom opens its borders for the pilgrims from around the world. So alhamdulillah, not much time left if you look at it, prior to people departing, and especially those that are departing on a 6-week and a 5-week package. So the preparations will definitely have to be in order. And alhamdulillah, as we've indicated in the press release on the 8th of April, that, the milestone has been reached with the filling of the 2,500 quota. Now that in itself is phenomenal, because it also gives the operators quite an indicator, a bit of time to move on to the second part of the equation. The first part is obviously, the SAHUC part with the accreditation, and then moving on to the operator portal, the contracting with the operator. The operator then loads the accommodation, the flight information onto our portal, the necessary passport numbers, etc., of the pilgrims or prospective pilgrims that are leaving. Then the second half of the equation is the population of the electronic Hajj system, known as the Masar system in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So all the contracting between the operator and the hotels in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia now needs to be uploaded, needs to be concluded, and that in itself, helps from a point of view to ensure that the packages that the operators have sold to the Hujjaj are now completed in the system. So all payments from the Hujjaj that have been made have been transferred into the kingdom, or most of them should have been transferred into the kingdom, the bank accounts of the operators in this Masar system, and then they start releasing, obviously, the fees, for the hotels in Makkah, Medina, Azizia, that they have booked accordingly. This then enables the operator to print the visas once the Tanazzul, the 5 days are paid for, and everything then starts working in, preparatory process for the first departure as indicated on the 1st of Zilqaidah, inshallah.
Yes, Shane, now as we stated at this point in time, the 2,500 is taken up completely, it's filled, and I know in terms of your press release, you speak of the additional quota, but at this point in time, there is no news. So, that's basically as we speak right now. Shane, can you hear me?
Inayat, are you there?
Yes, I am. Shane, can you hear me?
Are you there, Inayat? Lost you earlier.
Yes, Shane, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. I can hear you now. You froze up for a few seconds, and then I lost connectivity with you. But let's talk about this, increase in the quota that we speak about in the press release. The anticipation of an increase in the quota as a result of us making the necessary, inquiries or the necessary appeals at the time when we met with the Hajj Ministry in January, alhamdulillah. That is what we are waiting for now. Coupled with that, our President Ramaphosa had a state visit to Saudi Arabia during last year, And I know that the Department of International Relations and Cooperation have backed his request up for an increase in the quota as well. So what we've gone and done is we've said that it appears as if we need to prepare ourselves in the event that the Hajj Ministry does send us an increase in the quota. So from that point of view, we've asked people who are ready to go for Hajj to put their names on the ready to go list. Now that ready to go list will basically work according to date and time priority for first time pilgrims only. We're not taking anybody who is not registered on SAHUC system, and we're not taking anybody who is registered in 2023 onwards, because we don't believe we're going to get a quota increase, if we do get one, to such an extent that we would be able to accommodate anybody. So in order not to give people, unnecessary false hope, if you want to call it that, we are limiting it to a specific amount of time. And today at 5 p.m. is the cutoff for pilgrims to actually send their details into SAHUC for us to start queuing them according to date and time. We will not receive, or we will not take in any emails or any requests that reach our systems after 5 p.m. tonight, inshallah.
Well, I think this is important in terms of what you are saying, because this whole ready-to-go list is extremely important, because at the 11th hour, should you get notification that the quota is increased, the Hajjaj or the prospective Hajjaj must be prepared to go in every way whatsoever. That includes also financially, just to be prepared, just in case they get accepted to go.
I absolutely agree with you, Inayat. And I think the important factor here is that timing is going to be of the essence. And as a result of that timing, we can't give prospective Hujjaj a week or 10 days to determine whether they're going to go or not. So they must already have their logistics in place from a point of view of leave, or, making sure your kids are taken care of, or your home is taken care of. The obvious situation is the packages. Now, they can't go and contract packages at this point in time because they're not accredited, and we don't know what the quantum of any increase is going to be. The second situation is as follows, that pricing may change because the rand-dollar exchange rate may change, and also the seasonality in terms of where we are. So, for example, let me just clarify that. We have 3 seasons during the Hajj period. We have the 6-week and 5-week period, which is known as the low season. Then we have the 4-week down to 3-week, which is known as the shoulder season. Then you have the 3-week down to Hajj, which is known as the peak season or the high season. And the prices for accommodation in each of those seasons vary quite considerably. So depending when the kingdom gives us the increase, and depending what the operators can actually contract or get their hands on in terms of accommodation, and also in terms of flights, because remember, post-COVID, we've had a significant reduction in the number of international airlines coming in and out of South Africa. And the frequency of these airlines coming in and out of South Africa has also been reduced. So based on all of that, there seems to be a scarcity of seats, and the costs have increased quite exponentially. So pilgrims must bear all of this in mind. As much as people say we are ready to go, you have to bear all of these factors in mind. We are putting the list together, but you need to be 100% sure that if we say to you, you've got 24, 48 hours, you need to know which operator you're going to go with, and you're happy to pay the prices that they are going to be putting on the table. Some operators may have stock, in terms of what they have block booked on seats or block booked on hotel accommodation, so you may be able to still have good conversations with them.
Yes, and just looking at it from a SAHUC perspective and the readiness on your part as a result of the additional quota. Now, obviously, you've got the cutoff time, which is for this afternoon at 5 o'clock. But just going forward, at any point in time, you're up and ready to notify the Hujjaj or the prospective Hujjaj at the drop of a head, Shane?
Certainly, we are, Inayat. We've already started putting the spreadsheets together, in date and time order from the oldest application to the newest application. And as soon as that is concluded, inshallah, once we get notification from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we would be able to then, en masse, go onto our system and accredit only those that are in the queue that fall within the number of, of quota that we would probably receive at that time.
Well, Shane, let's just hope that it doesn't take too long for the Saudis to make the announcement in the event of an increase in the quota, because just to make it easier for everybody all around, for SAHUC and the Hajj as well, because certainly there are going to be challenges.
We've
And
lost the connectivity again.
okay, Shaheen, can you hear me now, Shaheen? Yes, I think there is a bit of a problem with connectivity. Shaheen will try and get. We know that there are signal issues that have been playing out in the last few days as well. Shaheen Esop is reconnecting. Shaheen, you're back with us. Can you hear me now?
I am. I can, yes. Thank you.
Well, Shane, we've got to get used to this connectivity issues. It's like it's happening once too often with all the load shedding. But Shane, just coming back to the issue of the announcement, and we just hope and we're praying, and this is what I was saying, that the Saudis make the announcement in the event of an additional quota. They try and make it as soon as possible in the interest of everyone, in the interest of the prospective Hajj and also SAHUC. So, there is, it's less painful as possible, right? To make those decisions right at the end or the 11th hour, Shane. Well, I think we're going to have to leave it at that. I think we've got a gist of what Shane Esop had to say. We're going to go for a break, and when we come back,
I'm back with you.
Let's. Well, Shane, let's see. One more try. Let's go for it, Shane.
Okay,
as I said,
so
I think you got the gist of my question.
I heard your question, and the important thing is for people to understand that this is not unique to South Africa alone. This is obviously a worldwide phenomenon. So what the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah have indicated to us in January when we spoke to them and when we presented our letter to them, they've indicated that they have to wait for all the countries around the world to give them an indication whether they're going to fill that quota or not fill that quota. So any excess in the quotas from other countries obviously go into a pot, and then that then gets distributed according to the requests that have been made from different countries around the world. We do know that some countries like Nigeria always make an increase request, likewise ourselves and various other countries too. So we have to be cognizant of their timing as well. And we hope, inshallah, that going into the last 10 nights of Ramadan, we're not going to find a lull or a slowdown in the processes in the kingdom. And we hope that we will receive that information sooner rather than later. As a Muslim, we ever optimistic, but we have to be realistic as well in terms of this process.
Well, Shane, we're going to have to leave it at that. Jazakallah for your time with us this afternoon, right here on Salam Media on the Iftar Drive. We wish you well for the rest of this month of Ramadan, inshallah. We've got big nights coming as well into the last 10 nights of the month of Ramadan, inshallah. Allah accept, Allah reward all our efforts, inshallah. And Jazakallah for your time once again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah inayat, and likewise to everybody at Salam Media and all the viewers and listeners. Allah grant you the maximum reward in these last days of Ramadan, and we make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant success to a request in the quota sooner rather than later, and those people that are yearning to go for Hajj must be able to stand on the plains of Arafah, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes, Shane Esop was us this afternoon, which brings us straight on to 4:27. We're going to go for a break. It's time for the Asr Adhan and the Asr Salah. So we'll be back, and we'll be joined by Ross Caputi as we come back at around 20 minutes to 5 this afternoon.